Thanks so much for your time, Melanie. You know that city better than most, and give us a sense of the mood among Japanese people. Are they happy that this Games is going ahead, Melanie?
Look, thanks, Kieran, for having me. I suspect Japanese people, and I obviously can't speak for everybody, but the people I do speak to and my own family and people I've spoken to this morning, everybody is quite conflicted, I guess. But they also have a sense of resignation that it's going to happen. We can't stop it. There's great suffering on the part of people, the average people, I think, but we just have to get on with it. At the same time, I think, and hearing Kate and Patty so excited about being part of the ceremony tomorrow, I think there's a great hope and desire that Japan does really well, and that all the athletes who've put in such an effort to get here do us proud. That's for sure.
Yeah, that must be mixed emotions for you, an Australian and long-term resident, as I say, to see the Aussie athletes arrive. There's that sense of excitement, but also the difficulties that that city is also going through to put this on.
Yeah, it's a terrible feeling, actually, because normally, I'd be spearheading, welcome sessions and, we'd be sending lots of love, which of course we're all doing virtually. But, the capacity for us to be involved is limited. In fact, it's zero. Nobody can attend any of the games or any of the events, except for some in Shizuoka, which is the cycling, and Go Cycling Australia, because I think they're fantastic. But like everybody, we've been asked to stay home and watch the games on TV. So that's pretty disappointing for a city that was going to put on a great show.
Yeah. You can only imagine, and we look at the excitement now in Brisbane, Melanie. We hope that 2032, that we're living in a very different world. But how have you observed the proceedings around that announcement over the last 48 hours?
Yeah, I guess conflicted is the same word, same feeling I have. Of course, I'm happy for Brisbane and happy for those people who want the Olympics. In fact, I think the film or the footage of everybody so excited was exactly what we felt in 2013 when Japan was awarded the Tokyo Olympics. So I sort of get how excited people are, but $25 billion later, I don't know that the Japanese people have really been given what might be the best for them. So I hope the situation is very different for Brisbane.
Now, finally, before you go, I need to ask you about this controversy around the comments made to Premier Palaszczuk by the IOC member John Coates. Has there been much reaction within the Australian contingent in Japan?
Well, if anybody read my Twitter feed, they would know how disappointed I was myself. But I guess for Japan, there's been a focus on other scandals, sadly. Just now, the creative director of the opening ceremony was dismissed for some references in some work that he had created to the Holocaust. And so, of course, you can imagine that other comments that have been reported are sort of going to filter down into the sort of, into that. It does trouble me, though, more so, I guess, to hear reference to the need for people to come out of their rooms and not hide, when I think about what I have to do now is basically stay at home and hide in my room, as does most of the Japanese people because of this and because of the restrictions that have been placed over Tokyo in particular around the holding of the game. So it's a very disappointing circumstance that we now find ourselves in. But I hope that the Premier enjoys the opening ceremony. She will be only one of 150 people that attends, foreign dignitaries, I believe. Jill Biden, Macron, the Empress won't be there. The Emperor will be there. Former Prime Minister Abe will not now attend. And I think people are now not attending, as your reporter suggested, for reputational reasons, but also because of indifference to the people who can't now attend. So that would be my greatest fear, is that we're not showing proper deference to Japanese people who have suffered so much through this.